So we are live here with SoUlFaThER, and I have invited Mox from XJ to check out my first tutorial for Creed's Climbing, which will help us get the SourceSDK hammer setup. So right now, you can see the stream, right? No? Okay, well, I can't see it. But I guess there's a delay. Or do I need to re-fucking start this page? Alright, well, I just want to make sure, because this is my first time doing this, so... I'm a noob. It says live. Okay, now it's live. And I'm going to post in the chat and say hello. Say hello. And it says say hello, so that's good. I like that. Alright. Okay, so now I'm on my desktop and I'm going to show you the first step. Right now, it should be clear to everybody that you can actually do this for 4.2 right now, but you're going to have to uninstall 4.2 by erasing the 4.2 folder before you install 1.0, because everything is included in 1.0. So that means that basically if you go up here and click library, whoops, I was already there, whoops, my bad, you should see your Creed's Climbing 1.0 installation here. I have 4.2 there because I need it for things, but you shouldn't want to have it there because it sucks compared to 1.0. Anyway, so you've got Creed's Climbing 1.0 installed. Like everybody's been saying, you do not have to have Half-Life 2 or any Valve source game installed. But what you do have to, once you've installed that, what you do have to have is, under Tools, you see that, and I just click this and go Tools, you have to have the SourceSDK base 2006 installed, and that is the actual engine and all of the shared files of Half-Life 2 and Deathmatch and some other textures and models and things that are normally involved with the 2006 engine. My God, I can't speak. Okay, but if you're going to map, that's all you need to play the game. It's just this SourceSDK base right here, and back in the installed area, the Creed's Climbing 1.0. But to map, you need the SourceSDK. So then you download the SourceSDK, Source Development Kit. And the first time after you've installed it and you open this, it's going to show you this. Oh, how boring. Okay, it's going to say Source Engine 2006 there. Don't ask me why it says Half-Life 2 Deathmatch, because as you saw, I do not have that installed. But there's the different engines. You need 2006 to map for us. There's also nothing else in there, so what you're going to do is just go ahead. I know this is going to sound funny, but this is the way it works. When you get 1.0 in your let's do it over here. In your Steam Apps Source Mods folder, you're going to have that. And inside that, we're going to have this game configuration. And this game configuration needs to be copied and pasted, not now, but later, into the Steam Apps, your name, not mine. That would be pretty funny. SourceSDK bin EP1 bin. I'll explain that in a minute. But when we click this, it's going to ask for the configuration information for the game you're trying to edit is invalid or missing, and say run it anyway. It's going to give an error message. Oh my God! Look! A Windows error message! How fucking exciting. Okay, so yeah, so you turn that off. By doing exactly what I just did right there, clicking hammer enter anyway, what's going to happen is it's going to create a game configuration file for you in this folder right here. Steam Apps, your name, SourceSDK, bin, EP1, bin. And now if we look at the end right here, because it always puts it at the end if you didn't refresh your folder, we have a game configuration for Half-Life 2 Deathmatch, even if you don't have it installed. So Now what you're going to do is you're going to have two windows open, and you're going to go grab this one, game config text, from the KZmod folder, and then you're going to take a really goddamn good look at it, because it's set up for my shit. It's not set up for your shit. So you need to set it up for your shit. And that means that you're probably going to have to change this to a C. And before this right here, you're probably going to have program files or program files x86 or whatever the hell that shit is. But I put it straight on D. So that's the way my shit's set up. So on this one, you're going to have to put C, and wherever your Steam is, make sure it's correct. Everything past this, you don't need to correct. So the KZmod FGD is correct, but you'll need to change this and whatever comes before Steam. On this one, just change this and whatever comes before Steam. And then for this one as well, but also change your name, because you are not SoUlFaThEr. I am SoUlFaThEr. Nobody else. These are leading to the compile tools, the BSP, the vis, and the ROD tools, which VROD, okay, whatever. Those are the tools. They want you, because they think you're stupid, they want you to show where the exe is again by the game exe directory here as well. Just change this and the stuff that comes before Steam. Yeah, before Steam, la 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 la. Okay, this is a mistake. It's going to actually look like this when you get there, KZmod, and a backslash, and it will be called map source. In that folder, you will be saving your VMF files, which are the files that Hammer saves for creating maps. That's what it's going to look like. So you're just going to have to change your stuff there. SteamF, source mods, and here as well. Same thing. It's really not difficult. You can leave everything else exactly the way it is. If you change this number, nothing's going to work. So don't change anything but the paths to your stuff. And then you're going to go and you're going to save it. Ka-ching! Kill it. And then simply copy it over to this side. And it will overwrite that one. Look how small that shit is compared to ours. Boom, yes. And now when you open this, you'll see that it's set up for me, because I just corrected everything. Isn't that nice? Yes, it is. So now, once I've got that in there, I kill this. I want to turn off the SourceSDK and then turn it back on, so that shit, what I just corrected, is loaded into it. It makes things very simple. Lovely bird. Hurry up! Hey, you're ruining the show. So Mox, what the fuck, man? Are you gonna start mapping, man? Now that you know, you know. All right, now shut up, okay? because we not only have no longer a deathmatch configuration in the current game, we have Creed's Climbing in there. Isn't that fucking hot? So now you actually feel good. You're about to make it happen. But that doesn't mean you're finished yet. So we're gonna click this. It's just gonna open up very nicely for us. Hoop-de-doop-de-doo. Hoop-de-doop-de-doo. De-doop-de-doo. And disappear. Please, right now. Right now. Come on. This is pissing me off. This is actually making me look stupid. Okay, now, there we are. So this is your message. Well, it's basically the same fucking editor, but it's updated like massively. So, yeah, no, man, but wait a minute, it's a little bit different, but not that much. Let's go back to this folder. I want you to know, just so if you ever lose it or you don't know what the hell's going on, in the Steam Apps Source Mods KZmod folder is also the KZmod FGD. It also carries the lights rod in case you want to go in there. Okay, program from a list. I know it's all in German, excuse me. Editor, make sure this one's ticked. Boom, so it always opens up. You're going to want to go in here and like add all your special textures that need lights for texture lighting. But I will tell you, texture lighting extends your compile time so bad in Source, I don't even use it. Well, I'm going to show all that later. I have a special one out here on the desktop, this TCG, but this TCG is very special for me because I can, just as I open it, when you install this, it's already set up for you. You don't need to do anything but select the map you want to compile and you're done. It's all this stuff's already ticked and it knows where the tools are. It's so awesome. But unfortunately, this one, Tazu's Compile GUI, only works with Windows XP. And let me tell you, that is actually the only reason, I know it, it is the only reason, I swear to God, the only reason I'm still using Windows XP. Because I can go in here and just choose my map, say select map, whatever it is, make batch, browse, choose another map, select map, make batch, and it's like added to the end of the list. I erase pause, select another map, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how many maps I select, I swear. I just have to keep erasing pause between the second to the last and the last one, and I'm good to go. Or just like the other day I compiled 15 maps at one time, which means I map 18 hours during the day, fix all these bullshit maps to make them work for 1.6 movement, and then I go to sleep while this shit compiles for me. But there is no other program, there's no other fucking program that allows that. Yeah, it's really sad. So I'm going to kill this guy because he said, nope, I'm not updating it because Steam keeps changing everything. So he got pissed off and left, you know. So screw that guy. He's done. But he did a great job, let me say. If he ever sees this, slap him in the face for not continuing. Anyway, where what? Well then, speak louder. Speak louder than words. No, I'm fine. Well, for me, it's well, maybe a slight difference. Yes, I actually saved a map called A Fucking Room. That was in the other one. Anyway, okay, now what we're going to do, before you even start mapping, I want you, because it's going to make your life a lot easier, if you go straight to Tools, we're back on track now, Options, see how everything's set up? You would have had to do this manually earlier, but since you don't have a game installed, you don't have to do this because I've already done it for you. Except for special things like, for example, when you get it, this will be unchecked, allow grouping and ungrouping, while ignore groups is checked. This little thing right here, ignore groups. I'll explain all that stuff in a later tutorial. But make sure that that is checked. It will save your life. In the 2D views, this is not done, and it is a very good idea. Because if you're rotating something 180 degrees, you just want to turn it around or turn it 90 degrees, it's going to be very difficult for you to do that. In fact, I'm going to tell you, you won't be able to do that if this is not ticked. Because nobody is that fucking good. It's just going to place the vertexes of the blocks you're rotating straight off the grid, which makes it more difficult to compile. Yeah, 3D views. You can mess with this stuff if you don't want to see very far because you don't have very much RAM in your computer. You can slide this back. Apparently, you can load Half-Life WADs into here and use them, but I totally suggest you not to do that unless you're going for the old school 1.6 look in your map. Like say you want to port your map directly over. You can apparently use these. I'm not sure if they're supported because I've never tried them, because I thought, why stay with 16-bit graphics when you can have 32-bit graphics? So you know what I mean? I mean, that's me, but I know. Well, you know, I left Utopia, for example, in the live stream everybody watched earlier. They'll see it. I left all those things as they were because that's what FOF wanted. But okay. So anyway, we are basically done. It was just those two ticks that are most important. The rest of the stuff you can look at and check out if you want. But for me, and believe me, I've made a couple of hundred maps. That is not a lie. I do not need anything else but those two ticks. Well, yeah, I don't know. I don't like throwing away projects that I start. I make them work and release them. Are you sure? Are people complaining? No. Okay, they can't hear you at all, or they. Um, well, if we want to be really honest here, you're not that fucking important. No, I'm just kidding. No, I don't. I don't mean it in a bad way, but I'm supposed to explain this stuff. Well, you can't hear him in TS because we're in a special channel that's passworded by 16 different encryption in black. You know, you'll never get in there. Um, yeah, we've encrypted every line separately. No. But anyway, you know, I'm just kidding. But okay, well, then just talk a little louder, man. You sound like you're stoned or something. Uh, yeah, you're. No, it actually got worse, but I can hear the microphone scraping on your desktop quite well. It's not a problem. I don't know. That seems a little bit louder to me. Comments. Click the chat right here and comment. Please tell us something because there are a few peeps watching. Who is this? I'm gonna time your ass out. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just okay. Anyway, so basically, wow, I just lagged out completely. So I bet all of you did too. All right, so ignore this because you are not going to have those things in there. Believe me, it's going to be empty. So you're going to click New and watch the screen blow up. Okay. Unfortunately, I didn't want to like completely reinstall everything, so I have things set up here a little bit quicker, or I mean better. I always move the texture group. You can. It's sort of difficult to grab it, but you can grab the texture group and place it where you want. So, but I always keep it at the very top, and in order of priority for me, I select them downwards. I don't even know what this is for. That probably makes me a really bad noob mapper, but I never use it, never found a need for it, and fuck it. This one is like the entities, and in the FGD, all the entities in the FGD will be listed in here in objects. You probably know that already if you've mapped. And the vis groups, which are important because, yeah, I'll show you that in another tutorial. But so now you've got your grid. Basically, this is going to be black. You want to make sure that the camera is showing 3D textured. Click. These will be top, side, and front. So if I draw a block using the block tool, and I'll go here while that's still like that and choose a texture. If you notice, here I'll show it to you. All the textures in KZMod are in this materials folder. KZMod, materials. Everybody's textures, like there's some here out of folders completely. Excuse me, I'm trying to, hey, while I'm at it, let's do the evil thing and smoke a cigarette. In each one of these, horrible, yeah? In each one of these folders, there's textures. The texture, VTF is the actual texture, and the VMT is actually the text file that shows, first of all, where the texture is, and what type of base shader we're going to use on it, and this is the one that you're going to use generally always. You can have a surface prop on it, which means when you hit this texture or walk on it, it's going to sound like wood. And you might have some bump map features that go with it, and you need to have a path going to that as well. You can see here's the bump map texture of that wood ceiling. Well, you could, like I said, when you're making your own textures, you can do whatever you want with that. I can turn all these to fucking beer if I want, but it probably won't work. That would make me Jesus. No, I'm just kidding. So anyway, everybody's either has their own folder like this dude here or Chris or whatever, or they name it after their map or whatever, And of course, there's probably a SoUlFaTher. Oh, look at that! And these are all the textures that I've actually created myself for the mod. I updated. I haven't even used half of these, but I just to supply for everybody else who wants to use them. I actually went to Italy and took pictures of walls and other weird things and made shitloads of textures out of it.
I wish I did that.
That
Not them during it one time. Actually, I looked yesterday. I took lots of pictures, but I didn't actually.
Huh. Well, it takes a lot of work.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't think I have the program installed, do I? There should be a program that allows me to watch this. VTF Editor, for example. VTF Editor. And no, I don't have it installed. So that's too bad. Anyway, I could look at it if I wanted to. I could open up Photoshop and look at it as well, but who cares? Anyway, we do not have WADs. That's the point. So, and if you're using WADs, I don't know if you'll be able to view them like this. You might be able to. I have never used it, so I don't know. You're going to have to...
Exactly the same way.
Yeah, probably. Okay. So anyway, you go through the list and be like, oh man, I just drew my block. I want to have a texture for it that's like the ground. So I'll just choose this for the sake of whatever. I put my mouse into any one of these three things and press enter. And now in the view, I have to press space and hold it, and then press mouse left mouse and hold it, and I can view around. But I don't see my block, do I?
So do you have to press like enter to put the block on the map, or is it just
No. Yeah, to place the block completely on the map with that texture that you selected on it, you actually have to press enter when you're drawing it with the block.
yeah?
Yeah. So now I can't see it. There's two ways you can do this. You can go to view and say center 3D views on selection, or you can use the camera tool. Since this is a new map, use the camera tool and somewhere around it just place that and then grab it with left mouse and drag it in a direction. It does not matter what. You could probably go like this and we'll see it immediately. No, it didn't work. It's probably the other way around. Yeah, there it is. I can see it. This is the edge of it. Anyway, yeah, like this.
I think you can click the Q and then go with the W. Just zoom around there.
Believe
Okay.
believe me, that's different. Um, I said it for a reason.
You should what I do.
Well, you have to hold space long enough to hold your mouse, and once you've got your mouse, you're actually dragging the view around, and then you use WASD to move
Yeah.
through the map. If you don't have left mouse clicked, you're going to be going up and down with W and S, like straight up and down. But I never use those because I just fly and turn where I want to go, like I'm fly like an eagle. If you're
Up left click.
Oh, this is not a tutorial for you Apple people. Okay, so I mean, not like slamming Apple or anything, and I'm not making any commercials for Windows either. Like, but anyway, that would be the way that when you close the map, if you want to, if you ever listen, if you don't put the camera in there, click it and slide it in a direction so the little red thingy sticks out there. Look, a little penis. No, you could, you know. Anyway, well, we're supposed to have fun, right? Anyway, if you don't put the camera thing in there, then you're going to have a problem because when you close the map after you've saved it, of course, when you close the map and reopen it, this will still be black, and you'll have to go again to center 3D views on selection, which does that right there. But since we're inside the block, we can't see the nice textures on it. Yeah, and it looks red because it is selected. So if we click in open space in any one of these three views, it don't work there. You see that? It doesn't work there. It only works here. Whoops. Hello. Oh, I have to be on this. See that? I have to go off that, and now it's in selection mode. Okay, and now I can click that. So now it's not red anymore. It's exactly the way it looks. So I'm pressing space, I'm holding space, and I don't move with my mouse. Press and hold that, and I'm controlling my view this way, and with WASD like this. And if I look, I can strafe. Oh, I'm strafing like a mofo.
That's how it works.
Okay, so it's really cool. I believe, yes, it's a fact. You can let go of the spacebar after you've pressed that left mouse click and just use WASD so you don't have to screw up your thumb on the spacebar.
So what are you doing exactly in this tutorial? Are you doing a cave or are you doing...
No, I'm not doing anything. I just wanted to show them how to set up the hammer, and I believe that part of that process is getting that camera installed. Because now watch, if I save this map, please don't do this wrong like Windows 98 when Bill Gates presented it and said, "So this is our new product." Oops, it crashed. We're gonna save as another fucking map. Another fucking map. No, I don't need to. This is just an example. So now I've closed the map, and now I'm going to open another fucking map. And if I look around, yep, there it is. If the whole thing were full, I'd be fine. Normally, when you leave the map because that camera is there, it should be saving the position that you were looking and the spot you were in the map when you reload, but it doesn't always do that. That's a slight bug in the program. So, I hope that was clear. I hope that was fun. Save as. I mean, do we want to go further and like build a room, put a spawn, and yes, actually we have to. Excuse me. I hate myself for. Thank you.
I think that's people want to know really, how to make a map and make a spawn point.
All right. Well, hold on. All right.
I mean, that's probably what I would do in the first episode.
Okay. Now watch this. Okay, we've installed all this shit. You're done. You're good to go. You're mapping. If you look down here, follow my mouse. Down here it says snap on grid at 64. Up here on the left, like in all the other hammers, you can raise the size of the grid. You see how it's getting bigger here? Or you can make it smaller. I would suggest for any mapper to not map in anything smaller than 16 or 32 if you're just creating main geometry.
16 when I map.
Yeah.
The block and everything, so it's all good.
See? So you did it right, dog, man. You fucking rock. You're already PR 0, which is pro. Okay, that thing I'm sure you know. I don't know if this. I don't even remember actually. I made so many maps for 1.6, but I don't remember if it shows the origin of the grid like that. Does it?
Sure what you mean.
This little thing right here. The
3D view.
yeah.
Yeah.
It does.
It does. Yeah.
Okay, well that's the 0, 0, 0. I'm at 0, 0, 40. I can go in here to 0, 0, kind of like 0, I guess, sort of. Like, not, maybe, whatever. Anyway. Generally, it's a good idea to start your map below that and make sure that that 0 point right there is in open air, because if you decide to put a 3D skybox in, you will not have to move your map. So we've got a floor. Isn't that nice? I'm going to do the quick version. It is okay to do this, but for the way I build things, I do not generally make a room like this, but you can. Tools.
Make hollow.
Yeah, make hollow. And the only reason I don't do it is because I'm changing the wall thickness to 16. The only reason I don't do it is because it never does it the way I want them to do it, even though from that view at least it did it correctly. It keeps the floor larger than the wall and the ceiling larger than the wall on all sides, which, wow, man.
You got a leak in your map around it with the skybox.
Yeah,
Seriously, FPS is shit.
no, you guys don't want to do that. And please, if you want to save yourself, never frickin' use the most evil tool that Hammer has ever developed called Carve. There is absolutely no good reason for Carve.
Yeah, he's right.
If you want to know how to make archways, if you look in this folder, yeah, if you look in my folder, actually it's in here as well. Sorry, map source folder. These are all the I've got displacement holes, pillar, tunnels. I've made a lot of tutorials